Hey folks, Chris Ritter here from the Fastly team. I lead our AWS Global Alliances. Super excited to have a quick chat with Ed Gray, one of our enterprise sellers based in the UK. So Ed, appreciate the time. One of the questions I wanted to kind of get your perspective on is, how should AWS sellers be thinking about Fastly? And, how would you position Fastly versus CloudFront?
For those of you from Amazon aren't really familiar with Fastly at all, the best way to think of us is really very similar to what you do with CloudFront and Amazon WAF. So we're a CDN company. We have 100 points presence globally, and we're here to really push content to end users as quick as possible, and then provide application security layer. So a WAF, bot management, DDoS, as well as a service compute element as well. The best way to think of Fastly would probably be more as an extension to what you have with CloudFront and Amazon WAF today. Most of the companies I speak to who are Amazon customers, they always start their journey on Amazon WAF and CloudFront. It's a really easy way to push workloads to end users and secure them. And then Fastly comes along as a pure player to really sort of like level up what they're doing or support more complex and dynamic use cases. So what we're very good at is customers that have a very high requirement for performance. That is the performance of pushing content, be it static or dynamic content, the performance of reacting to security threats and very complex security threats, as well as having a single CDN and WAF solution to cover workloads that run maybe on Amazon or GCP Azure on-prem. So a single service covering all the different kind of backends you can think of. So my thoughts with it is always we're here to complement CloudFront. We're here to kind of act as an extension to what it is that you're providing your customers with. When what CloudFront or Amazon WAF does may be hitting a level where it just isn't supported, and the customer has to think of going to a pure player, the Fastlys, Cloudflares, Akamai type thing.
Perfect. No, thanks, Ed. And, if you look at our customer portfolio, a number of our customers are also AWS customers, right? So we have a great kind of synergy there. Where have you personally had some success kind of from a mutual come together, go to market perspective? Anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, Chris, great question. So an example of where we've seen success working with Amazon will actually be on JD Sports. It's a deal that we closed in March of this year. It was about $1 million ACV deal, land expand deal with JD Sports. So they're one of Europe's largest sports retailers, both online and in store. They've been using Akamai and Sequence for their CDN WAF and bot service for about 10 years now. They were looking to both consolidate vendors into a single front-end best-of-breed player, and they wanted to keep everything as much as possible in the Amazon ecosystem. So CloudFront, unfortunately, wasn't what they needed for the complexity, size, and scale of what JD Sports does. But Fastly was the right vendor for them to support that complexity. They did a lot of back-end migrations to new platforms. They needed a vendor that could support an agnostic environment because things are changing, that we can support the scale of what they're delivering, the level of attacks they get with sneaker bots. But they wanted their spend to stay within Amazon. They wanted that relationship where all their vendors work together and we're all in it for JD success. And the partnership we've got of Amazon means that not only can we move all the spend through the marketplace and keep it in a single place for Amazon, but we're looking to work with Amazon. We can work with the Amazon reps and JD Sports on what does a best breed look like, best breed technologies, opposed to some other vendors out there which are always competing with and not interested in working with Amazon. So that sort of bet together really worked together and well.
That's great. And I think that's a really interesting point in terms of, Akamai and, Fastly has a lot of success in the edge space, and we can kind of really partner with AWS and in essence, sometimes take those workloads and actually migrate those onto the AWS platform. So it's really a win for Fastly, win for AWS, and at the end of the day, most importantly, win for the customer. So that's
exactly. And actually, it's a good point because, when a customer at JD Sports comes along, we can help move workloads to the Amazon S3 storage, for example, and consume it from there. So a lot of our customers may have storage all over the place on Azure, on GCP, on Prem with other vendors. You move to Fastly, and part of that migration is, well, where should your storage live? Well, let's whack that in Amazon for you. It's within our interest to support that kind of architecture.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Ed, really appreciate it. Lastly, and I know we're coming up on time here, what are your thoughts about the AWS marketplace and transacting through a marketplace?
Yeah, look, I'm very supportive of it. It's one of the very first questions I ask in my kind of qualification cycle customer, which is, are you an Amazon customer? Do you have an EDP or in the marketplace? From my perspective, there's nothing negative about a customer buying through the marketplace. It doesn't impact my quota or rev rec or anything like that. And it just reduces the friction for customer onboarding a new service like Fastly. They can consume already committed spend, which is great if they are going to have a shortfall on spend on commit that they're going to lose anyway. We are a trusted Amazon vendor, so we are like a retail security, a retail content partner and a security competency partner as well. So that always helps with like vendor onboarding. And the actual process of signing a deal through Marketplace is so easy. You know, we normally get a customer to agree to a private offer, and then we send that out, they sign it, and we're good to go. So it's a really easy procurement mechanism. And I always champion it if possible with customers.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I think if you look at Fastly's business from just a couple of years ago, our marketplace business at Fastly doubles or triples every single year. Right. So it's a real thing. And I think our leadership is, started to really buy into this as a go-to-market and, appreciate efforts and all your efforts and kind of, driving success. So we're looking to do. So thanks, Ed. Really appreciate your time. And to everyone listening, have a great day and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.
Cheers.